Well, a Ferguson, Missouri activist found her son hanging from a tree, and police are ruling it a suicide, but the mother believes it was a lynching.
Now she is calling for an investigation after she says police failed to do their job. Ashley Lincoln from our CBS affiliate in St. Louis, KMOV, spoke with the mother.
Suicidal? Ready to leave his mother? No. Nope. A mother knows her child.
That's why Melissa McInnes wants St. Louis County Police to dig deeper into her son's death.
He was not suicidal.
On October 17th, she found Danye hanging from this tree in their backyard with bruises on his face.
He was in good spirits.
McInnes says the 24-year-old wasn't depressed and was starting a real estate business. She believes there's more to this story.
He said somebody took my son.
McInnes, a prominent Ferguson activist, told me she thinks her family is being targeted.
What do you say after something like that? Like, listen to a mom just pour out her heart over her 24-year-old kid being lynched and murdered.
Go ahead, E.
I mean, like, it's kind of one of those situations because, like, what can you say?
Yeah.
You know, you can say so many different things, but she lost her child. And also, like, there's photos of him up on social media and stuff like that. So, like, what can you say? You know, I personally don't know how it is to lose a child, but I do know someone in my family who has lost a child, and, like, their child passed away, I think, in, like, the 80s, and they're still dealing with it or trying to deal with it. So I don't even know, you know, what there is to say, you know.
As a father too, I know I can't imagine or fathom the pain that woman is going through. Yeah. That, you know, just as a parent. She said something interesting in the beginning of that video where she said that my son wasn't depressed. My son didn't suffer from depression. Yeah. I know my son. And my question is, and I know some people may not agree with, but you don't know. And I know she's going to, you know, everybody's going to harken back to the death threats and the people parked outside her house. Those are scare tactics. And I'm not saying that stuff didn't happen. That's not what I'm saying at all. Those may be 100% legit and accurate. However, we don't know what somebody's suffering with. Depression isn't something that you can see.
Sometimes you can.
What?
Yeah, it depends. It really depends. There's sometimes where parents really, like, or not even parents, but just people around that individual really didn't know or tell or be able to tell. But then there are certain circumstances where, like, you can kind of tell that they're going through something. Yeah. But I can't say, I really can't say anything for this when it comes to that because, like, I don't know the woman, I don't know the young man, and, like.
Right. I mean, I'm just putting, let's put everything out there, every avenue out there. Let's not cut off anything. I know of somebody, I didn't know this person personally, who was, people said they loved being around him. He was always making you laugh, always making you joke. And then the next day, he ate a bullet. Yeah. And they said, well, you would have never thought because he's smiling, he's joking with you. You know, he's one of those clubhouse guys. You know, somebody that's just good, you know, on your team. They're not really that good. Yeah, not really bad, but they're just fun to be around.
Yeah.
Well, my other thing though too, I think looking at the video and just hearing her speak, I think she was more so letting the viewers know, let's rule this out. Like, yeah. No, my son wasn't depressed. No, my son didn't deal with anxiety issues or any of these things. He was murdered. He was, you know what I'm saying?
And it could be 100% accurate.
And that's my thing. I'm just looking at her. She's an activist in Ferguson. Was active in that whole movement. She received a number of death threats. She received a number of people just appearing on her doorstep where her son and her husband had to, you know, approach cars and walk up on people and they would pull off or speed off or, and then she makes reference to, okay, you know, there was a time it came to my front doorstep. I don't believe, while I get what you're saying, because I do get what you're saying. I don't believe that when you talk about this type of shit, that just knowing all that he was into, I just don't know that it makes sense that he lynched himself.
Look at the gentleman who owned, and I apologize for forgetting his name and not knowing it. The man who owned and started Golden Crust.
I don't know that story.
But you know Golden Crust. Yeah. The CEO recently, about a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, took his own life.
Well,
and nobody, when you see, and I was at the funeral, everybody who spoke about him, you wouldn't think that he would do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is what this kid did by no means. That's not what I'm saying.
You're just saying keep the options open.
Just options open.
Let's look at every option.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's happened throughout history. You have Robin Williams, you have Kay Spade.
A lot of successful people.
A lot of successful people. Yeah. It happens to.
Success does not equate to happiness all the time. And there's people that have been dealing with like mental health and are very good at hiding it or there's so much layers and different levels when it comes to mental health that we're still trying to have more conversations about and have that really get into it more. For me, I just want to wait for the medical examiner report for that to come out to really see. But no matter what the circumstances are, a young man's life is now gone.
And at 24 too.
That's young.
That's 24. Like
that's and it's just horrible. It's horrible in general that we're seeing, in various circumstances, right? Various circumstances, we're seeing a lot of young people's lives going.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, even if it's a mental health thing, that means that we need to figure out and have a discussion about like what can we do so that people like him will not go or pass in such a young age.
Yeah.
If it's a mental health or if it's something tying to, foul play or whatever it is, no matter what the outcome is, we're gonna have to figure out like how can we make this better? Like what can we do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either way.
She's probably in just disbelief. That 24 years old, a young life snatched like that. I can't, when we talk about mental health, I can't help but think about, and I don't like bringing up race and using the race card, but the societal pressures and the cultural pressures of being an African-American man in America.
Yeah.
The constant front that you have put on of masculinity, that you can't be soft, you can't cry, you can't be weak, you can't be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We don't have that opportunity. We don't have that luxury to be vulnerable like that. So I can only imagine what this is like. Oh, I got my restaurant popping. I'm trying to do it. My mother's an activist. And again, I'm just throwing out theories. The pressure that guy got to face, man, and now if he's in a relationship, that pressure, anything could happen. And again, like Erin said, we got to wait until the medical examiner comes, and does his test or her test or whoever's doing the test, him or her.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just gotta wait. Prayers and condolences to Jones' family. I don't know that I never really have the words for things like this, but just looking at her, it's just not a good thing, clearly. And just prayers and condolences. It's tragic, and hopefully, she gets some sort of resolve.
Yeah.
Like, to go to sleep at night and then not really know what happened. It's a little.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine like coming across your child's body, seeing this. Like, I've never had to deal with that. I can't even imagine what it may feel like to come and actually see your child like hanging. I don't know. It's
suicide is weird.
It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. I guess let's introduce ourselves. We didn't do that.
Yes.
I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm Freakzilla. Regular Naz.
Oh.
You can't be Freakzilla.
You can't be a freak twice. You already said you were a freak.
Yeah.
They already know Naz. First of all, are you Naz?
I am the real Naz. That is my name. That is my legal name. Disrespect to Nas.
Yeah.
Like he has some monopoly on the name Nas. Get the fuck out of here.
We're not even going.
Yo, you got a little,
it's fine.
Dog, you got a little piece of hair right there on your beard.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a gray hair.
No, it's like a long
grassroots podcast.
It's like it's not his. It's not supposed to be there.
I'm trying to introduce the show.
I'm trying to let Britt is behind the camera. She's going to zoom in on you, and you're going to have a long piece of hair, and then somebody's going to be like, "Yo, whose hair is that?"
Well,
and then you're going to be like, "Oh, well, I was on my way."
No, I grow a full beard.
I'm telling E.
Mrs. Spot.
All right.
You
know what? This way you can't be nice to black folks.
I don't know. I can't say anything. I don't grow beards, son. So what can I say?
You can't be nice to black folk. Remember that.
I'm just saying.
Don't do nothing for them.
Well, all right. So on a lighter note, Alec Baldwin is with the shits. And I support him. I almost
true New Yorker right there.
I dead ass almost wore a free Baldwin shirt today. I almost
he gets busy in the New York streets.
Almost did. Man. Listen, I said that when I sent this to the group chat, or somebody sent it to the group chat, and I said, I'm not mad at Alec Baldwin.
Neither am I.
Parking wars are real in New York City. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes for you to get a park? Me and Britt circled the block mad times trying to find parking to come record. I'd be ready to kill someone when they just swoop on in or do some bullshit. So I'm not mad at him. I almost want to start a GoFundMe for Alec Baldwin. I support him.
No, you don't need that.
Well, listen,
you don't need
I
that.
have to support him. I believe in what he's doing, and free Alec Baldwin. That's what I want to say.
Listen, I mean, it's so funny because when you sent that, like, everyone, if you're in the New York City area, you're like, okay, we understand
Tri-state,
that.
really.
Yeah, tri-state.
Yeah.
But more specifically, if you commute or live or anything in New York City, you understand, like, okay, I get that. Because I was even thinking to myself, I get upset even when people walk incorrectly on the sidewalk in New York City. And yes, that is a thing. You can walk incorrectly on the New York City sidewalk.
Yeah,
going against the grain, stopping in the middle. Stopping in the middle of the sidewalk. First of all, if you stop in the middle of the sidewalk, I know you're a tourist.
Yeah.
I automatically know you're a tourist if you stop. If you're going to stop, you go off to the side of the street or more towards the building.
Yeah.
You don't stop in the middle. And another time, I hate it. I hate it. When you're walking and you on the right side, and obviously if you're on the right side, you have the right of way.
Yeah.
And someone's walking down and they just keep walking like, are you going to move? And you're like, nah, I have the right of way. And they just stare you down. And then especially if it's an old person, they expect you to move.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what?
nah.
I really feel like tourists should have like a class that they take before becoming like or coming to New York. It should be like walking etiquette.
Yes.
They're looking up like that.
Yeah, like you have people that stop on the phone. It's many a times where I've seen people looking at phones, looking at directions, and it's horrible to think this, but I automatically think, he's gonna get robbed.
Yeah.
He's gonna get robbed.
Or you might get a.
You just look shaky.
See, you gotta put the headphones on. You gotta put the headphones on. You gotta put it in your thing, and then you can hear it.
Yeah.
So you don't look that way.
What's the famous New York saying? Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
Yeah. Like you're just bound to get stuck.
And you know who who annoys me a lot, and it's not even because
Taxi drivers.
That too, because they run over people. But what annoys me is like when there's like, the construction ways where it's a narrow path for you to walk. There's always that one couple that wants to hold hands and they don't want to let go.
Yeah.
And they want to walk on that narrow ass sidewalk because of construction.
I walk in the
I'm like, nah.
What a bunch of
I
dickheads.
will walk.
Yeah.
I walk right through them.
I walk right in the middle.
I walk right
Their
through
arms
them.
be swinging. I'd be like, excuse me.
I walk right through them. Like,
Pardon
me.
They do that.
Yeah.
Like, y'all can't part for 2 seconds.
Y'all love
Like,
is not.
really?
Yeah, y'all love is not supposed to take up the entire sidewalk. I'm not rolling. It's not that powerful.
He's a sucker for love.
Yeah, it's not that powerful. Yeah,
a sucker for love.
And then they clasp their hands even harder as if it's like a fucking scene in Titanic. Like, they can't let go of each other. And I'm just like, yo.
Yeah. I break that shit right up. Excuse me. Sorry. Coming through.
That shit annoys me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that annoys me in New York. You got that. You got the bikers who like don't even let you know that they're coming until the last second. And then they're like, ring, ring. I'm coming.
Hold on. Yo, Britt, you remember that?
Britt almost got hit.
Me and Britt were walking after we did the podcast, right? And maybe just the tri-state area is going to find this funny. But the dude is walking in the bike lane. Some dude on the bike goes, that doesn't look like a bike.
The funny shit is, who was in the car? I don't know. I was in the car.
Was it coming back? I was definitely in the car.
It was going home. And as we're driving, this is the other thing with cabs. Cabs fucking annoy me in the city. So there's a cab parked, but it's parked in the right lane where you're waiting for the signal to make a right-hand turn.
Yeah.
Everybody's beeping the whole shit. Of course, a biker, in true New York fashion, comes up, "Hey, dickhead, move that fucking car. Mad people's getting in the way." And then, of course, the cab driver tries to get gangster. This dude hops off the bike. "What's up, then?" "What's up, then?" In the middle of the street. I'm hysterically laughing like, yo, if that is not New York to the 10th power.
I'm going to tell you the rest of the world how bad New York traffic is. This is old movie, probably late 70s, early 80s with Dustin Hoffman and I forgot the other actor. But he's walking across the street in New York City. And everybody's seen this clip. He bangs on the hood of the taxi and goes, "Hey, I'm walking here."
Yeah.
That's real.
That's
like
a real
that
thing.
wasn't scripted.
Yeah,
that was like a taxi driver blowing through the guy who's stopping because they're filming.
Yeah.
And almost hitting Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
That's how bad. Zero fucks given.
It's a real.
I can't lie, especially when taxis. Okay, so you know the side of the road where they try to make that turn into the street. It's not like usually when they turn, taxis are dangerous when they turn. It's not necessarily when they go straight. It's when they turn. Anytime they turn and have the right of way, I give them the death stare.
Yeah.
I look at them like, "Hit me. I want you to, so you can pay my fucking tuitions and money and everything and loans.
Bus to hit me.
Do it." Yo, I thought sometimes to just jump and be like,
I thought it was just me. I've been trying to get hit. Yo, I dead ass been trying to get hit by a bus for years, my nigga. I thought it was just me. I'd be walking in front of him.
Please.
The guy be like, "Come on, nope, come on." I'm like, "Damn."
But
not this
you
time.
gotta be careful though. You gotta get hit by a yellow taxi. Don't get hit by a Lyft or or Uber
Yellow
because
taxi.
their insurance is
they'll
horrible.
cut-
I know
yeah.
someone who got hit by a guy who's like a limousine / Lyft driver.
He ain't got
His
no money.
insurance is so bad, it's about to get liquidated.
Yeah.
So make sure you go for taxis,
Yeah.
yellow taxis, because yellow taxis
And-
then it ties to the government, so you get the money
there's
from
a
the
method
government.
to do it. You have to make sure that they like graze you where you don't get fucked up too bad.
Yeah.
Because the way them
You get
cabs,
clipped.
you gotta
Yeah,
get clipped.
clips.
You gotta, but then once it happens, you gotta sell that motherfucker. You gotta
I know.
tumble over that.
You
shit.
gotta jump.
Yeah, you may have to even crack your own ankle. You gotta sell the shit out of that to get some bread.
What's crazy is now I figured out why New York City taxis are so messed up. If you anybody who's ever traveled outside of the country, like when I went to visit Morocco, they have zero traffic laws, zero.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is. And I've had Jamaican homeboys, Dominican homeboys, Haitian homeboys say like, "Yo, the islands are bananas. They drive, they're going right on the edge of the cliff, and they're doing one-hand turns."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fam. And then you come back here to New York, or you come to stateside. And now you driving like you on some third world country. Man, don't do that shit.
That's because people don't know how to use their turning signals.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't know how to do their turning signals. And then taxis feel like, okay, I got to rush through this red light, not this yellow light. I got to rush through this red light to get to wherever I'm getting.
Yellow means speed up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Even though it's supposed to be 25 mile per hour limit.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening. My other real big issue with New Yorkers is just that they're walking, they're disrespectful.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Oh
show.
my
I
gosh.
when I was young, I definitely showed to check the lady.
People don't know how to walk.
I
they're
definitely showed
disrespectful.
to check
They're
the lady.
disrespectful. Like between them walking in the streets, like I remember my first time as a kid driving in New York. I must have sat in the middle of an intersection just because that whole row of people just gangstered the shit out of me. Like I was just sitting there like, "Yo, beep beep," like, "Yo, y'all ain't gonna just let me turn." I just
You got
gotta
an
turn.
itch. You got an itch.
They were looking at me like I was the idiot.
And they begging you to hit.
Yeah, they don't have the right of way.
Yeah, like so. I hate that shit. I hate it.
Yeah, and also last thing, those people. sorry, I'm getting my bag right now because this shit is annoying. Those people
Real New
who are
Yorkers.
already like halfway through and they're not allowed to walk, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, go, and then they do like that stop stutter, like.
But those
I don't know,
those
like
are the ones you gotta watch out for because
Oh
again,
my
that's me.
gosh.
I be trying to get hit. I be like, "No, go ahead." And then they be like, "Nah." And then as soon as they go, I be like, I try to run. I try to go. And
Nah.
then they be like, nah. I'm like, fuck.
Nah, Brandon's gonna jump all the way on the hood.
Listen.
he gonna
Yo.
sell it.
Listen, if just know if
Go all the
y'all
way.
see a clip, it's go hard or go home. If y'all see a clip of me on IG Live, fucking just like, "Yo, I got hit by a bus," take this episode down. Y'all already know what's happening. Grassroots to the top, baby. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If the moment y'all see it, don't text me. Just get y'all affairs in order. Start putting lists together. We lit. We lit.
One wham, beeline, come.
Facts. We lit.
I'm waiting.
Alec Baldwin, We understand.
So with that said, Alec Baldwin,
we understand.
We support you, my brother.
I dead ass blanked out like, yo, damn.
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
We support you. We support you.
Where was he going with that?
Yeah. So on to more pressing matters.
Yes.
California is trying to, I guess, quote unquote, give the homeless an opportunity to clean up those mean streets of Cali for $15 an hour.
How many homeless people?
That I don't know, but I did do some research. Right, the average bum, sorry to say bum, homeless person makes a shitload of money.
Chris, can you look that up?
For no reason, just collecting coins on the street. If I'm a bum, why in the fuck am I gonna go? Like, be legit.
Yeah.
And then I got to claim taxes? Why would I do that? I'm killing them out there in the streets. No?
Well,
is it just me?
No, if it's 15 out, it has to be. So I only know this because my stepdad's sister's an accountant. It's only a certain.
Something else.
Oh, I thought she was going to say a professional bum.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, fam.
She's a professional bum.
I thought she was about to hold on. She has mad money.
Only on the weekends.
Only
on the weekends. That's why I got a lot of singles in my pockets.
All right.
No.
You know what? That was a layup. That was a layup.
I ain't a stripper. I'm homeless. So my stepdad's sister, because I had a whole conversation about her.
In my head, it's still hearing you say.
You still worried about if I'm stripping or not?
A professional bum.
I'm like, yo, it makes sense.
First of all, I'm not coordinated enough to be a stripper.
No, I'm talking about your aunt being a bum. In my brain, I keep ending your sentence.
Wait, she's an accountant, not a bum.
I know, but you keep saying, well, my dad's sister, and in my brain,
the accountant who happens to be my stepdad's sister.
You gotta phrase it right.
You just, I don't know what you be thinking about, but anyway.
When I retell the story, I'm gonna say that I'm just keeping it a buck, but whatever. All right, fine, I got it.
Listen, all I know is if we ever need to have tax conversations, you better make sure you don't tell her that you think she's a bum.
Yeah, I take it back, Auntie Simon. I take it back, Auntie Simon. I take it back.
So she told me that when you make a certain amount for the year, that's when you have to do taxes. But even if you make like a certain amount, taxes isn't super a lot. Mm-hmm. Like especially, and then even if your taxes are below like $1,200, you can just not pay it. And then there's like a way that you can get the penalty, but then it doesn't really affect you.
That sounds like tax evasion.
Yeah.
No, it's not tax evasion. No, it's not.
I wouldn't say it's tax evasion. Those are not the words I would use.
It's not. I may not be explaining it like in the most concise way, but
that sounds like
no, because
you don't have to pay.
No. She explained to me like there's like you can get certain penalties when it comes to taxes, but if it's not over past $1,200, you're fine, and you can just take the penalty.
But that's my point.
Why would I do
Bums
that?
make it like there's a bum.
Do you have a choice? Do you have a choice, Naz, if you are?
Fam, if I'm in New York City and
you're not, you're in California for this.
Oh, okay. If I'm in LA and I ask 500 people for $1, and I only get 200 people to give me $1, that's $200 that day.
Tax-free money.
If I do that for 5 to 6 days, nigga, that's a come up.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Let me be
clear. But if you're strategic about it, then you don't have to pay taxes.
You gotta think about it. Bums really like
homeless people. Come on, son. Because bums can be like Naz at home playing video games.
Chill. I'm not. Well, it depends. It depends. Cause I
ain't gonna lie. I watched for the first time this week. The way I've been playing Red Dead. I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
That could be a bum too.
Yeah, I could be a bum too.
Bums can actually pay taxes.
I'm on my Red Dead stuff right now.
I was about to say.
Did you fucking skin a rabbit for that?
Yeah. Word. I got my pelts.
He went to the rabbit and skinned that shit.
I got my pelts
that shit in the Rhodes Forest.
That's an unlock.
Mission accomplished.
They got the legendary boots on.
Word.
Yo, Naz definitely looks like he about to go into a fucking saloon right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh man, look at Dutch! Look at Dutch!" All right, no, but that's my thing. Bums, I like the bum that's from Jersey City. He shout out Jersey City, my home. A guy named Larry, and I can't even call him a bum because he's one of the nicest people you ever meet. But
His name is Larry?
Yeah.
Larry. Why is it that everyone uses Larry for someone who's a bum or like an addict in shows? He really is. Like
if I'm keeping it a buck, I almost feel like Larry's been on the news. Like he's one of those type of homeless people where he's like a celebrity of sorts.
He's living the life.
The reason I say that, I really feel like Larry was one of the people that started. And this gonna sound crazy. Larry for me is one of the people that started the legitimate sign of saying, "Yo, my name is Larry. I'm homeless. I fell on hard times.
I'm sorry.
And I'm just looking to eat." When you talk to him though, he was just such the nicest guy. Come to find out, Larry got a home. Like
you can't trust him out here.
No, but he legitimately just saved up from doing.
Oh, I thought you meant he already had a home. I was saying some folks are like that in New York. Like you can't trust them. They be like, I'm poor. They got a freaking condo on Park Ave.
That's my point. You can make it in America by being homeless. You really could.
Where was Larry saving at? In a bean
listen,
can?
I don't know. That I don't know. But
if he saves a certain amount, he can actually go for a debit.
I don't know where y'all from, but bums always get got if they got
listen, but that's the thing.
Larry's smart.
Larry's one of those dudes. He's just so nice. Till his day, he's still out there.
Wait, what about one of those houses, like those housing systems for people who are low income? Was he able to? Was that why he got the house?
No,
he said he got a house.
He got a house.
What did he put on his application for the bank?
I don't know.
Professional bum.
I don't know. I don't know all of that. I just know he has a home.
Maybe he
destitute.
No, because sometimes like people will hire certain individuals. Like if you're homeless or anything, like you can work at certain restaurants and stuff like that. Like there have been people that literally live in their cars and work at restaurants.
I've seen my pops had somebody working on a porch back when we lived upstate. Gave the dude $200, and then the dude's back started hurting, and he never came back.
Wait, did I ever tell y'all my homeless story? Why I don't give?
That's why you don't do nothing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were homeless. I was like, do tell.
No, so look, let me tell you a quick story. So one day, this is when I was mad.
Why you start whispering?
No, because I thought I told y'all this.
Secret to tell.
Yeah, this how. Why you hating on my story segue? Like that's how I tell my stories. Asshole. So listen. So when I was young, I'll never forget this. It was a field trip. Mm-hmm. I'm going into the city, and I saw there was a homeless guy. He had a garbage bag on. I felt terrible. I gave this homeless person my lunch, money, everything. I come back out. We get let out early to go walk around. Mm-hmm. Get let out early. Sure enough, that same homeless person took the garbage bag off and had a full layer of clothing and hopped into fucking bins.
See?
That sounds suspiciously like don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, Brandon.
No, this is a real thing. I can tell you, I was going to the Bergen School.
Lunch.
Shout out to Bergen School.
Look up that movie in that scene. You know what I'm talking about.
No, it really happened. It really, really happened. I was devastated. Till this day, I'm wary about giving homeless people money for that reason.
My aunt made me take $1 back from a homeless guy.
I don't.
Some of them out here, they're intense. Like they'll ask for food, and you'll go get them food, and they'll be like, I didn't ask for a Big Mac. I asked for a Whopper. And it's like, whoa.
I definitely take my money back then.
You know what, though? Keeping it a buck, I respect the bums that be like it was one bum. He said it.
Bum.
I know. I don't mean to say it like that. For the viewers listening, I'm not trying to be insensitive.
Where's politically correct Nancy? Tell them.
Homeless
that
person.
doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, homeless person.
Like
that's
politically incorrect Pauline or something. Like
no,
politically incorrect Nancy.
It's not. It would sound too cool if I said Nas. I want to say politically correct Nancy.
Yo, he'll find a way to correct some shit.
All right. Politically correct Patty.
There you go.
You want to be called
I think Nancy's better than Patty, but that's all right.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
You were saying, okay, we're talking about how sometimes individuals, like, they'll ask for food, but then they'll be like, I want a sirloin.
I appreciate the homeless folks that be like, yo, I want money for sex and drugs. I appreciate them. At least they keeping it a buck.
I'm not giving you my money for that shit.
Why not? You hating?
Yeah, you damn right. I work too goddamn hard. You gonna be out there on the street all day, not caring, not working, and then why lie? I need a beer.
Well, you figure you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you give a homeless person money,
everyone needs some beer. We all
that's
have
what I'm
hard
saying.
times. You don't drink.
I don't drink. Yo, I learned when my Aunt Carmen, who was in the Frederick Douglass projects out in Manhattan.
Hold on. This story seems like you going to segue the same way Erin was before.
Hold on, fam. Let me get this off real quick, man. I asked her for $1, and she thought I was going to buy some candy or something. We was in Manhattan. Man. And I took the $1 and I put it in the homeless guy's. You got me saying it. I know. In the homeless guy's cup.
Horrible.
And when she saw me do it, and she said, "Yo, what did you just do?" I said, "Yo, I gave the homeless guy $1. He needed it." She said, "Yo, I worked too goddamn hard for that $1."
She snuffed you.
No, she made me go take it back. I took the $1 out the cup.
See, that's your problem. You're giving away other people's money, not your own.
Yeah, I'd have snuffed you too.
Mind you, they found nothing wrong with taking the $1 back. It was a mere fact that it was somebody else's money that I gave.
Yeah, you fucked up. But before we move forward with this episode, I want to encourage everyone to vote today. It's very important.
Yes.
Just doing research, I'm definitely going to vote.
Determine who is the majority in the House and Senate.
Yeah, go out there.
It's important.
We've said this many a times. You know, we band together before on numerous occasions with Barack and all of these people. There are some real legitimate candidates out there that you should be voting for, and this is the one time where I think people are really starting to see that, hey, we need to do something.
And also, if you're noticing the fuckery that's happening in Georgia with the candidates, that should show you why it's important that we need to go and vote, because there are certain individuals that are sneaky, they're trifling,
snakes.
They are.
Yeah.
And so, also, when you do vote, I would say Google is your friend. Please do some research. Please look at some of the information, and let's make sure that we elect the right people into the House and the Senate, because we already know what happened with the presidency. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you.
Just getting shit done.
Yeah, please. Just go out there and vote.
Wait, what did you just say, Naz? I caught that. Nothing can get past a woman.
What he said, I wasn't paying attention.
President Trump's getting shit done.
Fam, all right.
He's getting, fam. I said it. He's getting shit done.
You're a Trump supporter.
Yo, fam, he sent the army down to the border, and he told them to open fire.
Open fire
if they start throwing rocks.
Did you see that? All right, I don't want. This ain't a political podcast. I don't want to. Don't get me started. I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. So I know this is not really on our conversation topic.
She's gonna get us started.
No. You don't even know what I'm gonna say. Just because we're light skinned does not mean that we're mentally connected. But all right, so.
When did that connection happen?
No, I was gonna say have you guys noticed how much fucking people still do blackface?
Yeah.
Even did you see those teachers in Idaho that had the fucking border wall and then they dressed up as Mexicans? Yeah. And then they had there's another teacher who dressed up as Beyonce and her husband was Jay-Z and their blackface. First of all,
you mean those former teachers?
There's no way those were even close to Beyonce or Jay-Z.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
Look it up.
That shit was crazy.
First of all, it wasn't even the right skin tone.
You know what it is,
and
though?
secondly,
I feel like,
they look like trash.
I feel like there's certain people out there, they do try to test the waters on times like this. Like, there's, all right, let's try to see if we can pull this off.
Let me see if I lose my job today.
Let me pull the wool over your eyes and just say, no, it was a costume. It was a costume. It's Halloween.
I was paying homage to Beyonce.
No.
Who's the lady that just got fired?
Which one?
No. She was from Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, but there's a few of them. There's a few of them. There was a teacher that came in dressed as Blackface, and he got fired and didn't know why. There was the couple that came in as Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I don't see them.
Then there's the
just do Blackface, Beyonce, Jay-Z. It should come up.
Yeah, like that shit is.
And then you got the Idaho teachers, literally 8 of them are a wall, and then 8 of them are Mexicans.
Yeah, that whole
stereotypical dressing of Mexicans. That don't even look like Beyonce and Jay-Z.
You see the picture, right? That's crazy. This yo, look at this picture.
This shit is trash. No, but even without blackface, without blackface, you cannot even fucking tell that it's Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yo, but my only thing is why
that's straight trash.
Why you had to leave Jay's lips white? Like, honestly.
Because he was trying to indicate how big they were.
You laughing.
Yo, this is some horrible stuff. You laughing.
Yo, that is terrible.
But there's nothing in their outfit. Like, even if they didn't do blackface, that does not look like anything that Jay-Z nor Beyonce would wear.
He just put on a bubble vest.
They be trying.
They just said baggy jeans vest. Let me put on a silver skirt.
You have people that try it. They be trying it.
But just think about that real quick. They got dressed and they looked at each other and said, yeah, this is what's up.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. I wonder what that was like leaving the house. Like, they looked just like, yo, we bodied this.
Score.
Yeah, score. We killed this.
And I was,
and then they go, all my single ladies.
Yeah, like,
oh, that is too. Yo, why does he have that? That's not even a gold chain. That's like a slave chain.
It was a slave chain or some shit. Like,
Yeah, that was like a bike chain.
yo, he's not even trying.
yo, it's some stupid people in the world. Yo, for real, for real.
Yeah, but they
my God.
continuously think that this is okay. Like, I forget who, but there was shit, what was it?
Funny.
Like there have been people who didn't even use blackface, but the creativity and their intelligence, like their outfit, you could tell who they were.
Yeah.
Like for them, even without blackface, what the fuck is that?
That was disrespect across the board.
Yo.
Like, ain't no
That's
other
like,
way to
there's
really...
no way I would look at you, even without the blackface, and be like, oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, yeah, that's Beyonce and Jay-Z.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what the crazy thing is about these incidences?
Yeah.
Is that we need to educate. Like when Megyn Kelly got fired, right? I understand why.
We passed that.
No, hold on. Let me
Megyn
get this
Kelly
out.
has been constantly saying some
yeah.
flagrant ass shit. Let's keep it a buck with that
She
one.
has, but that's what I'm gonna steal this from Joe Rogan. You need to have educated African Americans and Latinos, whether it be doctors, accountants, architects, and just have them on her show for a week, and just ask her what made her think that blackface is okay.
But how can she learn when she ends up leaving and getting almost $65 million? What is there to learn?
Here's the devil's advocate. If you fire someone for just asking a question, where does it stop? Because it has to go. It has to be what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander.
Here's my only thing. In this day and age, especially people like the woman Megyn, you know what the score is. You know what the score is.
She hasn't changed moving networks.
All
she
jokes
has
aside,
not changed.
you know what the score is. You know what you're doing. That couple that dressed up like Jay-Z and Beyonce, you knew what you were doing. You can't talk to me at this point. We're past the stage of let's have a black panel. Let's talk to these people and try to educate. No.
I'm not talking.
We need to start hooking off.
I'm not saying just like the run of the mill black panel and black caucus. I'm talking the young folks like us and the people in Argentina. What are you thinking? Because I'm not here to sit across from you and say like, oh well, you know what, you didn't know, you grew up on Maple Street or Pudding Avenue and you didn't know. Yeah. You had two black people in your high school, Lamont and Sherry, and they both like Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm not talking about them. There's nothing wrong with Hootie and the Blowfish.
I'm about to say, why are you pouring slander towards Hootie?
Yeah, I wouldn't really matter.
But you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to just where does it stop? If you fire somebody for asking a question, what's them to stop one of them from firing us for asking a question?
First of all,
they fired us for less.
Megyn Kelly gets no excuse because on the Today Show, there's two black males. You have black coworkers.
You got a filter.
You can, if you don't know something, you should be discussing with them. And that's the thing, like, when she's a professional like that, first of all, she did all her research. Let's remember, guys, she did all her research back during Fox News era to ask questions to Hillary Clinton and ask questions to Trump. If you're telling me she was able to do research and get information to ask them questions to challenge those candidates, you're really thinking that she can't do the same research for this other stuff? Come on, get out
think she
here.
did research?
Which is my point.
She has an intern.
It doesn't matter. She still is. She has to be well informed about that stuff.
She needs to be in
because what if they counted her? She has to be able to say, well, no, X, Y, and Z. Like, this is the thing. Like, when it comes to news, you have a beat, right? And the beat is essentially your main subject, your main thing that you cover constantly. That's why, like, people like her and Don Lemon, like, they have to stay on top of everything. Even if they have an intern giving them information, they themselves still have to watch things. They still have to take information in. For example, it's like if you're a Knicks beat writer. You may get information from other people. You may get the game scores, but you still have to keep up with everything. If you're a great reporter, you yourself are going to be not only getting stuff from other people, but you're going to be doing your due diligence to make sure that this information is accurate and that you're not sounding crazy. So if she's able to do all those things during when Hillary and Trump were running and asking them questions, like, and she was countering some of the responses that they had, which means that she herself was looking at the information or knew the information. You yourself have to make sure that when you have a certain subject matter, that even if it's your interns, you have to make sure that you are very well versed in that topic. And if you're not well versed, then get people who are to come onto your panel to do that.
Yeah.
And her show, she had people on.
I'm not defending Megyn Kelly. I'm just saying, where does it stop if you're getting fired for asking a question?
Because certain questions shouldn't be asked.
Wait, she said that she doesn't see anything wrong with blackface.
And she said, "Is there something wrong with it?"
And she said,
"And somebody should have said yes, Twit."
That's my point. My point is, you grow up with when your professors tell you, hey, there's no dumb question. Guess what? There is a dumb question. There's a dumb question. That was a dumbass question.
Like they haven't covered that on Fox News.
Like you're not aware.
Blackface?
Yeah, but
blackface cases.
She's a reporter. She's like, let's stop.
You're putting a lot of emphasis on being a great reporter.
No, I'm talking about.
She's a Megyn Kelly. Because I just want to make sure that when we start waving these flags of what's right and we gotta go for justice, we gotta go here. This is the line. What's good for the left should be good for the right. And if you're getting fired for asking questions, then that can open up Pandora's box. I'm not excusing her. Because everybody's going, just the black Muslim dude is going for the blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. That's this black man. He's going to save this white woman. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it's Pandora's box when the most littlest thing can get somebody terminated. There's an issue.
Okay, and what I'm saying is black folks for years, up until maybe a week prior to Megyn, have gotten fired for less.
Newscasters.
Yeah.
People in general are targeted for less. My point is Jamel Hill. They were super critical of Jamel Hill for even saying certain things that she said that wasn't even incorrect. So this is the thing. If you are someone who's in the limelight, and if you're someone who, especially as a news reporter, you must be prepared no matter what. You must be knowledgeable. And if not, like, we can't sit here and say that when she was at Fox News, they never covered situations where people got fired for blackface. Let's keep it a buck. She knows this stuff.
Yeah.
She knows this stuff. Now, if she really had that question and she really wanted to be discussed, she would have had more specifically maybe a black individual discuss this matter, or with the way that she posed it. But the thing with Megyn Kelly, though, is that there's things that she says that is very like suspect. It's very suspect. It's not like she just said it and that was it. Like, she's been known for saying some very suspect things.
Yeah, I'm personally not rolling with her.
I don't like her. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Yeah,
I don't feel bad for her. None of that.
I watch her show. I watch her show every day after the Today Show. I don't like her.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I'm cool.
Well, the rumor was she was, they wanted to get her up out of there anyway.
They did, but that I said that to my parents, and they didn't really roll with it. But I wouldn't. I almost thought that she got wind of them wanting her to leave. And so she said that
to sabotage herself, get that big ass check out?
Sabotage herself and get it back. That's what I think happened. Honestly.
Damn, that's smart.
I can't see her. Yeah,
$5 million.
I can't see her being that stupid to ask that question. And the reason I said I put that reporter label on her because she's an accomplished journalist. She's accomplished. So you can't say you're not unaware. That now for me, you can't use that. The moment you say you're unaware, now you have to get the fuck out of here because that's bullshit. Yeah. Your job is to do research.
On the conservative
your job
side,
is to do research.
And she had one of the most popular shows over on Fox News. So in terms of like the conservative side, she's like in the same, but on the conservative side, on the same level as like an Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
But that's because she had one of the most popular shows because she's an attractive white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes.
But
on Fox.
But outside of that, she still was accomplished.
I mean, but she's they
and I hate to
this network picked her up, so obviously she knows her shit.
Yeah, because she has a following. I hate to reduce her just to her looks. But let's be honest, Troy Lauren?
We're not mentioning her on the show.
Oh, well, again, that's another one. There's carbon copy.
I'm not.
That's a carbon copy.
I agree.
And what's the other one that used to date JJ from Good Times? Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
The devil herself.
Oh, gosh. Oh, not her. We ain't gonna even that woman. Nah.
Listen,
Yeah, you didn't know she's the JJ from Good Times, right?
I don't care about that. I'm just saying
JJ
her.
was Kid Dynamite.
So I want to move on from this real quick, because some great things are happening with the 49ers.
They're winning?
And not their record. I'm still boycotting football, but I almost want to watch the 49ers just for the young woman by the name of Kayla Morris, who did the cheerleader that kneeled during the national anthem.
Hey,
You know how crazy that is for Colin Kaepernick to be booted out of there
and Reed,
and then for now to have to I just want to know what the 49ers do now.
They did like just like this. They did like this.
Yeah, they looked down like, motherfucker, we got another one.
Well,
God damn it.
Who is this woman?
Yeah.
Get her ass up here
well,
right
it's
now.
kind of. I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to even do anything because remember that they were blaming the ratings for the kneelings. And
Yeah.
how that was hurting the ratings, but now the ratings went back up. So, like, what are they
Yeah.
going to say now?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they had they were going to enact the anthem policy where it's like you either stand or you go in the locker room. But then now they're like, nah, we're gonna pause on that for a second. We're gonna bring that back.
Smart
so
move.
right now it's just kind of like it's in such a limbo where like. And it's not even just her. There have been other athletes that have been protesting and kneeling and doing so. So at this point, it's like you can't do anything. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't blame it on ratings. What, you gonna try and get Trump to say something else? Because obviously, like, what is that gonna do?
Yeah,
so it's at this point, it's like.
I just think it's smart. Number one, I love that she took a stand, or knee rather. I also think it's dope because it puts that organization in another pickle.
Yeah.
Like now, how do you guys handle this? You guys frowned upon this whole movement that started with your franchise, with Kaepernick. Now you got to deal with it again. And now if something happens to this young girl, be it her losing her job or she's benched or however that works, now y'all looking even more funny in the light.
How do you bench a cheerleader?
Well, that's all. I mean, that's also like a deeper discussion because, you know, the reports that have come out about NFL cheerleaders and the situations that they go through and the low pay and stuff like that. So then that's also like another contextual layer that it's like.
I hope she gets fired. Word.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
So she could get paid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
You do that interview circuit.
Yeah.
If she's articulate and intelligent, she could move that into a book. And my time as a 49er cheerleader. And
Well, also the Kaepernick still has that going for that case that they whatchamacallit, where they like purposely kept him out. Like he's still going through that. I know there's a specific name for it, but sorry guys, it's late right now. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But that's still open too. So if they do anything, that will add ammunition to his case. So it's kind of like they're gonna have to let it go.
Get that bag.
I know she's probably thinking like, I can't wait to get fired. I can't wait to get fired.
Yeah. But I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm with it. All right. It's album time. A lot of shit to talk
It's
about.
always album time.
Yeah, it's always album time. Swizz dropped Poison. What are your thoughts? Early thoughts thus far?
I like the Naz joint.
Yeah.
Echo.
Oh my God, that's the Nas we were waiting for.
I like, yeah.
That's the real Nas.
That's the real Nas.
Because he's the only person in the freaking world with the name Nas.
No, that's not what I was. Oh my God.
No, not you. Not.
Oh, I was about to say that's not what I was inferring.
No, I was inferring that. I was definitely inferring that.
But I like that one. I like the Swiss Montana joint, him and French. Surprisingly, I like the Young Thug record. I enjoyed that
You
one.
like the Young Thug record? I'm surprised.
It's not bad. Yeah. Well, from you, that is very surprising.
I'm really surprised at that. What was my list? Let me go down to my list of records. I like Echo. For me, is really really dope. I love. Let me go back to my list. Hold on.
And
Yeah.
and
I
quite,
like
also
Echo.
like the Pusha T joint too.
So yeah, I got Something Dirty is fire. I like Echo. I like Cold Blooded, and I like Honorable Mention for me, which I don't see a lot of people saying. But I really just feel like he doesn't get enough respect, yo. Jim Jones on Preach.
Yeah.
Jim Jones, yo. Can we just say for a minute, Jim Jones be flowing and really don't get enough respect.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like
that was a good track.
even his album he just put out, like he really is a consistent artist that just for some reason the masses don't take to him the way that they should. And I don't know if it's an exposure thing. I don't know if it's one of those things where they've put him in this box of, just being like in the back scenes of Diplomats and all those other things. Like, you know, he was coined the hype man of Dipset. But let's be clear, Jim Jones could rap. And he flows, and he makes really good projects.
Do you think that people started feeling a certain way when he went on Love and Hip Hop?
What do you mean? Well, he started that way.
He started it, yeah.
He started that way.
Well, he was on it. Oh my gosh.
I don't. You know what?
PC
though?
Nancy.
Yeah.
But but I'm saying, like, you know how like people view individuals a certain way when they go on Love and Hip Hop.
So this is my thing. I think when Jim did Love and Hip Hop, I don't think it was labeled the graveyard. Because
because it was the beginning of the New York City one. Yeah,
people look at
he was wilding.
Yeah,
apologize to the camera.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah, you could tell he didn't know how to really be on camera. Like, he was threatening people.
No, but he was being himself. He wasn't being like the self that you're supposed to be for Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
say what you said to me on camera.
Yeah, I don't think that mattered. I think that I don't know what it is. I almost want to just think about it, but I really just feel like I'm happy that he was on the Swizz project and the beat selection. It just sounded like classic New York Jim.
How'd you feel about Swizz rapping?
If I'm keeping it a buck, if I'm keeping it a buck, I'm not really for Swizz rapping.
I'm just I just want the ad libs from him.
Where the cash at?
Where the cash?
Yeah, I like that Swizz. I've never been a fan of Swizz rapping. I like Swizz for me is like damn, I'm having a brain fart now.
We all are. It's late. It's okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
Timbaland?
He reminds me of like
Timbaland?
he reminds me of Timbaland or
Listen,
or
but
Fat Man
Timbaland and
Scoop.
Promiscuous with Nelly Furtado, that worked.
Yeah,
that worked.
That
worked.
It's certain.
He did more than that.
Yeah, it's certain records. But Swizz, to me, if Swizz never raps, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Swizz. I just don't look for Swizz for that. I look for Swizz for just exactly what he did, producing these records and making a good body of content. Fuck.
That's what Tim does.
What did y'all think about? Because I'm seeing mixed reviews on the record with the Locks, which is not really Locks. It's really just Kiss
and Styles.
Holiday.
Me personally, because a lot of people were upset that Kendrick wasn't rapping on the record.
Yeah, he just did the hook, right?
I wasn't all that mad at it. I felt like it was 90s hip hop where you get to hear the in and out of Kiss and Styles. I wasn't that mad at it. I think the accent was Kendrick on the hook.
Well, also, like, there was a certain theme within the project where it was based on the 90s and certain conversations about the 80s, and Kendrick is younger. So obviously, you know, there are certain things that still correlate between the past and the present or current times when it comes to growing up in the hood or in certain locations like that. But, you know, they were, you know, it seemed like they were telling more of their stories. So it's just kind of like, I was fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
I was fine with
it too.
I'm a Swizz fan.
On the first go around, I was confused because I was listening to it and I was like, damn, this feels really, really quick. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, all right, the track list is 10. And then I thought about it. I said, yo, if short albums were 10 records, I'd be okay with that. Like, it felt like a good in and out. It gave me like the mixtape feel. It gave me that old vintage sound that was missing. The same thing I feel like that Wayne brought with his project. I feel like that sound is now starting to come back, and obviously, Wayne. Swizz spearheads that with the Wayne single. With the fucking name of that record. I can't even think of the name of the record right now, but
I forgot.
What was
which one?
What?
Thanks, Chris.
Which album?
Swizz.
Oh shit, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay.
J. Cole. Who's your
J. Cole be doing a lot of shit.
Cole produced Swizz Beatz album.
Yeah, but that's fire. So you figure Cole has done that. He directed Bob Boat, Royce's shit. Cole may be secretly the GOAT.
Well, they also their Drummondville acts were dropping stuff too, so he probably was working on that too. Because JID dropped a single not too long ago. What is it, like 151 Rum? JID is so fire, by the way.
JID is really fire.
But freaking Pusha T came again with that Greek mythology, the Midas touch. It was crazy though, because like when I first heard that, I mean, when he first put that line, I was like, I know he's obviously talking about molestation, but then I was like, Midas. I was like, okay, here he goes and again with that Greek myth. And I was like, I win. And then it's touched the gold. But then also the King Midas touched his own daughter. And turned her to gold. But it's that little incestuous thing that ties back to the uncle touching the girl. And I was just like.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I was like,
it was interesting. It just lets you know that there's layers to push. Like, and you obviously get that because he's an artist.
That's my point. It seems like he's a history person because
he's one of those rappers that you got to really be careful with because he'll kill you with metaphors that are completely over your head with Greek mythology and fucking all types of shit, and you won't catch it probably until later on where you're like, "Fuck, he got me." I didn't even realize it.
Thought just popped in my head.
Yes.
Do you think Cannabis would have survived in today's day if Cannabis came out now with his metaphors and his punchlines?
No. And I think only reason is because there's a way to do metaphors now. The way metaphors are done now, it's a little bit more creative than what it was back in the day.
Cannabis was creative, no?
It's also
Cannabis, early Cannabis, like for me was like that nigga. Like Cannabis was fucking fire. But then I thought there was like allegations where he wasn't writing the shit, and then like there was a bunch.
Then he
of
went
shit.
crazy, right?
And,
it's also
I don't know if he ever wrote it.
It's
you know
also
what I'm saying? So
that period of time. Like who was it? I just know I heard it from Rob, but like it's that period of time where we're in like the disco era of hip hop, where when it comes to certain lyrics, like. It's crazy to say, but like if your pen game is like too strong, like it's gonna go over certain audience groups' heads.
But that's what Eminem was saying when he went at Cannabis. He said, you're using too many complex metaphors and it's going over people's heads. But I just thought because you said push.
Now more than ever, I think is gonna go over people's heads.
That's what I'm saying. We're in the microwave era. Anything deep is really gonna
like
go
I said, the disco era. Everyone's about beats and let me feel turn up.
Yeah.
Like,
Cannabis
that's how they're on right
Cannabis
now.
would be considered Socrates now.
Well, yeah. What? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking. All right. So we have some honorable mention albums that we will cover at some point.
Yeah.
Joel Ortiz,
Yes.
Mona Lisa, Fire Project.
Yes.
We have Vince Staples, FM, Fire, and then Freddie Gibbs. So we have
Freddie Gibbs is really good.
Yeah, I didn't get all the way through Freddie Gibbs, so I have to finish listening to Freddie shit.
Vince Staples was good.
Yeah.
I liked his was. What I liked about his was you really got you got that West Coast feel, but it wasn't too West Coast style where it's a turn off to certain people.
He made me feel like I was in Cali.
And I liked it. And then
for real, that's not a diss. He really made me feel like I was in Cali. Like I felt that I was in Cali.
And I really liked the song Tweakin' that had I think Kehlani was on the hook.
Yeah.
I really liked that song. And then his project was like a good listen. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was one of those projects where because I mean to us, we can listen to the West Coast sound, especially you with E40. But for average listeners, that may be they're not really used to it.
It's hard.
Especially
It's
the Bay Area sound and
hard.
stuff like that.
It's
People
hard.
aren't used to certain California sounds. But he did it in a way where you still got that feeling, but it was enough where it's kind of like an introduction. Let me just give you a little bit. Let me give you a little bit. Not go too hard.
Not too much.
Let me give you a
Just
little bit so you know.
Yeah.
But that you can still appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you. I think that as you listen back to that album, you'll start to appreciate it more. And Vince, I think I'm a big Vince fan just because he's so charismatic. He's funny. He's smart. He's
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. He's super woke. So that was the other reason why I was interested to hear his project and liked what I heard thus far. So I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, his skits were interesting too. The skits that he had in there.
People still do skits?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has skits in there.
Haven't heard an album with skits in a minute, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a Tyga skit, which is really dope because I think in that skit Tyga his song played a little bit within that for the interlude, and then he has the Earl Sweatshirt interlude. Yeah, so it was and then he had the 562453938 skit. Yeah. So he added those interludes and skits into it, which I thought was really cool.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah. Listen to
His
it.
project's pretty dope. I think you definitely like it.
I think you'd like it. I do.
Especially because you like the West Coast sound.
Definitely listen to Joel's project, Mona Lisa. I think you'd like Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's hard.
No, I'm definitely
Mona Lisa's hard. I feel like just for Joel, it's been a while since we've heard Joel. So to finally hear him he's been quiet, really, really quiet. Where you're used to him having those one records on the radio and shit like that. So to hear a complete project where it sounds fresh. It sounds like he's energized. It sounds like he's in a different space. I like it.
But don't you find it not interesting in a bad way, obviously, but don't you find it interesting? Because I know, like, previously he talked about his experience with Shady Records and then, like, talking about management and stuff, and then he just releases this project, and it seems like you said, like a more liberation. I thought it was really interesting how, like, after that conversation he's had, that he just drops this project.
Yeah, well, he dropped something beforehand.
But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, like, I didn't hear the previous project, but like, it just seems like,
oh, like this is
like a free man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Could
like
be.
a situation where he just feels like a little more like free to be himself, or a free situation. I don't know, but I just thought it was interesting, that kind of like correlation about when he had that when he was talking about like the management stuff with all that situation.
Yeah,
he was honestly, he was kind of saying what Joe was saying, but not like saying names.
there were subtle things.
Yeah, subtle things he did, and then
there were subtle things.
Yeah, and then he dropped this project, and I'm good for him. It's dope.
Yeah, I like it. So shout out to him. I guess, let us know, because I know that there's a lot of music to cover for the casual fan, even though for us it's our job. Let us know what your top albums, top records are. What do you think about the Swizz record and all that kind of stuff? And then also, as always, check us out, Grassroots Pod, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. As always, subscribe and hit the noti so you can be notified for the
noti.
Yeah, goddamn word.
Yeah, hit the noti so you can be notified on newest episodes.
Sign up also for our newsletter, because we'll be notifying you guys about exclusive content, events that we're a part of, and everything like that.
Yeah, and then we're going to be dropping a link very soon, pre-order for Grassroots hoodies. I know you guys have been asking for it, so that is coming very soon. So look out for the pre-order link. For the group me chat, you guys obviously, because you have exclusivity with us, you'll have that link early in the game before they sell out. With that said, it's a good episode for nothing happening in hip-hop.
Yo, holla at me for Bohemian Rhapsody, too, if you've seen that movie.
Oh, my God.
At Regular Naz, I'm a huge Queen fan, Freddie Mercury and all that, a.k.a. Farouk. You didn't know that, did you? He's from Zanzibar.
You saw my top 25 playlist on my.
No, well, Queen was not up there. Do not let him front. Do not let him front. Queen was not up there.
I can't wait to see your top 25. Can you bring your Dell in?
So
I can see your fucking top 25. Can you do that?
Britt, that's not funny.
No, he said Dell.
That's not funny.
He said you didn't have that.
Bring in your Visco so we can look at your fucking your desktop, your PC.
If y'all want to discuss the movie, at Regular Naz, he's Killabh BH.
Oh, yeah.
That's Erin Ashley Simon.
Excuse me. I can do myself. My name is Erin Ashley Simon.
Why did you?
Because I wasn't part of that little situation you had. And you came and tried to like take
I tried to close it out. But
you tried to close it out. That ain't gonna happen. Nah. Stay with your Bohemian Rhapsody over there.
Yo, don't ever disrespect
Stay over
Queen.
there.
Don't disrespect Queen.
First of all, I don't disrespect Queen. I love Queen. I listen to the music. I ain't that young. I listen to the music. But anyway. Because Nas on his old tip, he getting cranky because he gotta go to sleep.
Yeah.
My name is Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm Brandon Killabh BH Hall.
Matt, I'm Regular Naz. I was gonna say I'm at Regular Naz.
Yeah, look, at Regular Naz.
I thought you were about to say Matt. I was like, what the fuck?
He got loosened up that fucking turtleneck smock on his fucking neck.
He's freaky Nas.
And we out.
Grassroots.